This teacher is the absolute worst. At this one middle school, in math class one year, there was this very awful teacher. She would scream at her students, refuse to answer any questions, and she would act very aggressive at very small things, kind of like she had anger issues. Well, one day in this math class, they were going over the answers to a math packet, and one girl in this class, let's call her Tina, flipped to the next page a little too early. Well, somehow, from all the way across the room, the teacher noticed this, and she stormed over. Are you in a rush, Tina? Because if so, you can take your stuff and you can leave. She smacked her hand on Tina's desk, and Tina was horrified. She started packing her stuff, getting ready to leave. Well, apparently, Tina wasn't fast enough because the teacher grabbed her by the arm, shoved her out of the classroom into the hallway, and slammed the door. And stay out there! After class, her friends found Tina crying in the hallway. And so, when they got to the next class, which was PE, they told one of the coaches, and the coach did not like to hear this. You said, what happened? All right, well, you guys just hang out here, okay? I'll be back. After PE, everybody that was in that math class was brought into the dean's office, and one by one, they were questioned. And just before Thanksgiving break, that horrible, awful teacher was fired. That's karma for you. Dumb reasons people got in trouble at school. It was grade school, and it was the end of the day. This kid got on his bus. The bus driver had to wait a few minutes to leave because there were still some students making their way to the bus. So the bus driver suggested they sing a song. All right, students, we're going to be heading out here soon, but while we wait, let's do a little sing-along, okay? Let's sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. That's when this one kid said this. Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star sucks. What did you say to me? Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star sucks? That's it. The driver then went back to where this kid was sitting and dragged him off the bus and pulled him by the arm to the principal's office. Come on, come on. Greg! Yeah, Miss Henley, this kid threatened me. You should give him a detention and make him stay. I did not. Sit down. I'm calling your parents. His parents were then called and they were forced to pick him up. They raised this issue to the school superintendent. He then checked the footage of the bus, and they obviously saw that this kid didn't do anything that bad. In fact, the bus driver shouldn't have grabbed him like that. He was fired. At this one middle school, there was this rule, and the rule was called the bubble. The rule was no students in the school were allowed to come within an arm's length of one another in the hallway for any reason. And if kids broke that rule, they would get in trouble. Want to give your friend a high five? Detention. You want to lend your friend a pencil in between classes? Detention. Is your friend having a really bad day and you want to give them a quick hug in the hallway? Extra detention with a possibility of suspension. Give me a break. I'm addicted to making money at school, and one morning, I had an idea. On my bike ride to school, I stopped into the local Target and I bought a bunch of packs of socks. Then at school that day, I waited until it was gym class. I didn't go to class. Instead, when gym class was over, I waited outside the doors of the locker room as the students came in to change into their normal clothes. Well, I cracked open the door a little bit and I peeked. Once all of their shoes were off and they were only in their socks, I poured a bucket of water on the floor, getting everybody's socks soaking wet. I got my brand new packet of socks, then I went in. What's wrong, guys? I don't know, man. A bunch of water came in here. All of our socks are soaking wet. This sucks. Oh, man, that's really unfortunate. I don't even know what I'm going to do now. This is going to suck for the rest of the day. I actually have brand new socks right here in this duffel bag. Thanks, dude. Yeah, I'll take some socks. Yeah, me too. And want some socks, too. Oh, not so fast, men. It's $2 per sock. $2 for a pair of socks? Oh, no. I think you heard me wrong. $2 per sock. $4 per pair. Yeah, no, I'm not paying that. Enjoy the rest of the day with your squishy sock feet. Wait. Here's four. That's what I thought. Today's gonna be a good day. This dude's funny as heck. This dude's in middle school, and apparently one of his teachers has this rule. No slang words allowed in class. If you used words like cool or dude, she would immediately correct you. One day, the teacher was explaining a lesson, and a kid in the back muttered, "Yo, that's low-key interesting." The teacher froze. She whipped around, pointed at him, and said,
"Hey, we do not use slang in this classroom. You meant to say it's rather interesting, right?"
The whole class went silent, but that kid wasn't gonna let it slide. The next day he came in with a plan. He printed off a whole bunch of Shakespeare insults, words, and phrases. Stuff like, "Thou art a saucy knave," and "Fie upon thee, scoundrel." Then, anytime the teacher asked a question, he would only respond using old-fashioned English.
So what's the theme of this story, class?
Verily, good madame, it doth speak of betrayal most foul.
What are you doing? Just speak normally.
And that's when he hit her with the, but thou hast forbidden me from using common tongue. The class lost it. Oh, he got you, miss. And after that day, the no slang rule mysteriously disappeared. I wonder why. This high school made a huge mistake. All of the boys' bathrooms at this one high school were shut down by the school because somebody was stealing toilet paper. So they closed down the bathrooms until the person who was stealing toilet paper turned themselves in. Well, that's not fair to the other students. For about a week, the boys' bathrooms were closed, and the boys were getting very upset by it. How can they lock the bathrooms? That's super unfair to us. What if I had to poop? I have to poop right now. Me too, I can't take this anymore. I've been holding it in every single day. It can't be good for me. Boys, I have an idea. Everyone here holding your poops. After lunch, at exactly 1:15 p.m., stand on your desks and take a dump right there. If we all do it, we can't get in trouble. Spread the word. The second the clock hit 1:15, this is what happened. A total of 25 dudes pooped on their desks in the middle of class. The teachers were horrified. They tried to get them in trouble, but they could do nothing about it because the bathrooms were locked down. The school actually got into huge trouble for denying people bathroom privileges, and the poop incident went down in history. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a subscriber submission. At this person's middle school, the lunchroom never served any sides with any of their meals. So if they were serving hot dogs, it was just a hot dog. Burgers, it was just the burgers. Pizza, just the pizza. Well, the kids at the school thought this was bogus. Every good lunch needs a side. So this guy had a brilliant idea. Every morning before school, he would heat up a bunch of French fries in his air fryer. And I'm talking a lot of French fries. He would then put them in an insulated pack so they stayed warm. And at lunch, he would sell them to other students. It was an immediate hit. Business was, you know what I'm gonna say, booming. On average, he was making $100 a day. This went on for weeks. You can imagine how much money he was making. One day the school found out what he was doing, but they didn't shut it down. They were impressed. So they gave him his own stand to run during lunch, where he would sell the fries that he made. All in all, he had made over $10,000. This kid roasted his teacher. So this one kid's school, there was this teacher who always tried to be the cool teacher, but ended up embarrassing himself a lot. You know, he would crack jokes, roast students, act like he was one of the kids. Most times, students just ignored it. But then one day, this happened. Okay, class, we're gonna start the review for the test on Friday, but I'll be sure to explain it slowly so Liam can understand it. What? Oh, come on, man, you gotta fight back. Hit me with something, show me your personality. Maybe then you'll pass the test. Liam just sighs, leans back in his chair and says, "All right, Mr. Thomas, you asked for it. Why don't you finally admit that this is not the life you wanted? Maybe that's why your wife left you, your kids hate you, and you're stuck here trying to impress a bunch of 14-year-olds you mayonnaise-loving Get it together. Hey, nice haircut, Kyle. Did the lawnmower break halfway through? Oh, hey, Chad. Well, at least my hairline isn't running away faster than your dad did. Oh, you think you're funny? Funnier than the fact that your new stepdaddy's the mailman. Oh, that's it. You want to fight? Yeah, maybe I do. Oh, yeah? Well, what are you going to do about it? I'm going to slap you so hard that they're going to feel it on the Richter scale. What? Sir? We have a problem. What kind of problem, Johnson? There's just been a massive seismic event. No earthquakes, no explosions, but the sensors just spiked off the charts. Where did it come from? A middle school cafeteria. Dear God. When this kid was 10 years old, he was at the grocery store with his mom. He was messing around in the candy aisle when he decided to steal some gum. He thought to himself, I'm a criminal mastermind. When him and his mom got to the checkout, his mom paid for everything except the pack of gum in her son's pocket. As soon as they walked outside, he pulled out the gum and started chewing it. His mom turned around. Where did you get that? Well, instead of admitting he stole it, he panicked. And he said, that man gave it to me, and he told me to get in his car. That man? The man was standing by the front of the store. The mom turned around and stormed to the store's entrance. She saw one of the store's employees. "Excuse me, this man right here gave my son candy and told him to get in his car." "What? Him? Wait, what? Wait, no, I didn't. We need to call security now. You stay there." "But I didn't do anything." Within minutes, store employees were calling the police. This man was in hot water, but he didn't do anything wrong. The kid just stood there watching, chewing his gum.
Hands behind your back. I said hands behind your back.
One day, this class had a brand new substitute teacher. Nobody had ever seen him before. He just walked in, slammed his briefcase down, and said, "I don't care what you do, just try to be quiet, okay?" Bad move on his part, because the second he said that, all hell broke loose. Two kids started playing Uno across their desks while one filmed the thing like it was a documentary. Some kid in the back just stood up and left. He didn't even try to sneak out, he just walked out the door. And the sub did nothing. At some point, this kid named Marcus stood up and started teaching the class. "So I'm gonna teach you guys how to care for an axolotl." And the sub just nodded like he was fine with it. That's when a couple students who were sitting near the front row grabbed the substitute's briefcase and opened it. Inside was nothing. No papers, no lesson plans, no pens, nothing. That's when the sub looked at the class, nodded, and said, "All right, see ya." And then he left. Everyone was like, what the heck just happened? No one knew who he was, where he came from, or why he was there in the first place. But I bet you that day in class was the funnest ever. The dumbest rules parents had their kids follow. When this girl was in high school, her parents had this very strict rule. "All right, love you guys, I'm going to my friend's house." "Okay, don't forget the rules." "I won't." The rule was this. She had a curfew every night, and for every minute she was late after curfew, she would be grounded for a week. So if she was 2 minutes late coming home, she'd be grounded for 2 weeks. Well, one day she was stuck behind a train. Come on, come on, come on. It was one of those long trains. You know what I'm talking about. Well, it was passing for 10 minutes, causing her to be 10 minutes late, Marissa. Do you know what that means? You were 10 minutes. Honey, please, I got this. No. 10 minutes late is what? 10 weeks. Excuse me? 10 weeks. 10 weeks, very good. You're grounded for 10 weeks, now get to your room. Oh, God, I hate them so much. Stupid rule. What the heck? What's a pineapple doing in here? This school prank lasted for 2 years. It all began at this high school when a single rubber duck appeared in the school's water fountain. And nobody thought much of it. It was just a random duck. Who cares? Until the next day, 2 ducks. Then 4, then 10. By the end of that week, there was rubber ducks appearing in every sink, every toilet, and even in students' lockers. Teachers were losing their minds. The principal, she was done. She kept saying on the intercom, "Whoever's responsible for the ducks, speak up now, please." Silence. Nobody confessed. So they gave up. They figured it would eventually sizzle out. But here's the thing, it never stopped. For 2 years, rubber ducks would randomly appear in the craziest of places. Ceiling tiles, inside the vending machines, somehow. One duck even appeared in the vice principal's car. It became a legend till this senior year. It was graduation. The principal was giving her speech when suddenly a banner dropped down. What was on the banner? A single rubber duck. This kid walked to the front of the stage and said, "It was me. It was always me." There was a weird kid at school that everybody avoided. He was really quiet. Well, one day he brings a cake into class and sets it on the teacher's desk. What is this? "I made it." "Oh, okay. Whose birthday is it?" "Nobody's. I just made it." "Oh, nice. Well, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna bring it to the teacher's lounge, okay? Huh?" Comes back, class moves on. The cake is now sitting in the teacher's lounge. Everybody's kind of skeptical. They're like, "I'm not eating that cake." Well, 3 teachers decide, hey, why not? I like cake. So they start eating it. Within an hour and a half, those teachers start leaving their classrooms. Their stomachs are going crazy. Oh no, oh. Subs have to come in, the office is kind of scrambling. The teachers spend the next few hours in the bathroom, then somebody connects the dots. It's the cake. They keep it. They have somebody test it. The next day they find out the cake was filled with laxatives. The kid gets pulled out of class. "Yo, come with me." "Oh, okay." And then he's gone, and he never shows up to school ever again. Why in the world would he do that? We thought you were cool! Leave my classroom! There was this teacher everybody liked. He's the kind of teacher that would sit with students at lunch and joke around with them. So one day during lunch, this group of kids is sitting with this teacher. It's a normal lunch and they're talking and laughing with him. Then everybody heads off to class. Well, I guess some students in the cafeteria that day trashed it, and the janitor was furious. Stupid kids making a big mess. I'm gonna complain. This janitor tells administration, everyone's talking. I guess this janitor really wanted whoever made this mess to get in trouble. Well, somehow, the cool teacher heard about this and blamed the kids he was sitting with. I was sitting next to Billy, Kevin, Kyle, Steven. They made the mess. Now, all those kids get called to the office. We didn't make the mess at all. Yeah, we were just eating our lunch, chilling, talking. No, yeah, we were sitting by Mr. Erickson. He can vouch for us. But the principal's like, well, kids, he's actually the one that turned you in. The kids feel betrayed. They go to his classroom after school. Yo, dude, why'd you tell the school that we made a huge mess during lunch? We were literally talking to you about GTA 6. Yeah, what? All the teacher did was this. I don't know. Now get out of my classroom. But that's not where it ends. All those kids went home. But the teacher personally called each and every one of those kids' parents to tell them that they trashed the lunchroom, which is a complete and utter lie. And that's the day all those kids learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes the teacher knows they're innocent, but it doesn't matter anyway. This kid wore a fake cast for Halloween one day. The costume was simple. Sweatpants, old hoodie, and a cast. I guess he was going as a kid with a broken arm. But on Halloween, no one's telling him, hey, I like your costume. Everyone's saying, oh my god, are you alright? And asking to sign his cast. Oh, yeah, you can sign it. People are holding doors open for him. The teachers are letting things slide. So he keeps the cast on another day. The lunch lady's giving him extra food. One guy even carried his backpack for him. So he wore it for the whole week. People are constantly asking, hey bro, how'd it happen, man? And this guy's so dumb, he changed his story every time. Skateboard accident, or bike crash, or I fell out of a tree. And no one's comparing notes, so nobody notices it. Then things start escalating. The teacher lets him not carry his textbooks. He got extra time on an assignment. Then one day gym class happens. It's a pretty big class with a lot of students in it. And there was a substitute. The sub asked, hey kid, how'd you break your arm? And he goes, football practice. And everyone's like, wait, hold on a minute. I thought it was a skateboard accident. I thought it was a tree. I thought it was a bike. He was caught up. They found out he's been faking. And he was the most hated kid for the rest of the year. That's hilarious. This kid went to a Catholic school in Florida. Florida. And if you've ever been to Florida, you know that there are lizards everywhere. On walls, sidewalks, just chilling by the pool. It's a lovely day. So one day, this little lizard gets inside the school building. It's in a classroom. And everyone's freaking out for some reason. The teacher's consistently saying, nobody touch it! Nobody touch it! And this one kid thought she was scared. That's why she was saying it. So he chased the lizard around. He picked it up. He caught it. Don't worry, miss. I got it. I'll go put him outside. The teacher then gets really weird. Oh. You shouldn't have touched the lizard. Why? You just invited the devil into your soul. That's funny. No, I'm serious. Get in the hall. She then sends this kid out into the hallway and calls this nun to come up. The nun then takes him to the chapel part of school where she prayed over him for the rest of the day. And this kid is sitting there. The nun also made the kid watch her kill the lizard with a cross. I'm not sure what kind of Florida Catholic school this is, but that's crazy. Genius level 1,000. So this kid gets a job at the local movie theater. 2 tickets to the Helpful Cow, please. All right, enjoy the show. Well, day 3, he learns a pretty cool thing. All right, staff, a reminder, you all get free popcorn. Isn't that awesome? Best job ever. So every shift, right before close, he fills a bag with free popcorn. He ties it up and he stuffs it in his backpack. Popcorn into backpack. He goes home, goes into his bedroom, and he puts that popcorn into an even bigger bag of popcorn. It's a massive trash bag he keeps in his closet. He does this for days. His closet turns into a popcorn storage unit, and he's trying to keep the popcorn as fresh as possible. Then what he does is he takes his popcorn to school, and he sells it. Like, for example, one night during a basketball game, the school is selling tiny popcorn bags for $4 each. He comes in, $2, fresh movie theater quality popcorn, $2. He goes behind the bleachers and a line forms. People are ditching the real concession stand to buy popcorn off of him. He upgrades his business too. Employees get 50% off of all candy. So one day he buys a bunch, tosses it in his backpack, and sells it at school for full price. Here you have candy. Yep, Twix, Reese's, Butterfinger, what do you want? He's basically running concessions every day at school. And by the end of the year, he made more money selling popcorn and candy than the theater paid him to work there. And that is genius. You gotta respect the hustle. This kid ran ran a genius business. It happened in high school, so this kid's older brother had just graduated, and he was working full-time at a pizza place across town. And every day, there were always leftover pizzas. Messed up orders that nobody picked up, stuff like that. So one day, the brother texts him around lunchtime and says, "Yo, we got an extra pepperoni and veggie. Want me to bring it to you, man, for lunch?" And he's like, heck yeah. So his brother comes and gives him these pizzas at lunchtime, and by the next period, he had sold 6 slices for $3 a piece. And this made him feel good. They loved the pizza, and he made some money. Now, this is not an everyday thing. It was only when there was extras, but that's what made it special. You never knew when it was gonna happen. Some days it would hit during 4th period. Some days there wasn't pizza at all. One time he sold 2 large sausage pizzas to the entire chess team. Another time he walked into drama rehearsal with a Hawaiian pizza and left with $19. It was this really cool little system that this kid and his brother had. And by spring, he's basically making like minimum wage for the amount of work he's putting in. And he never spent a dime on anything, so everything he made was pure profit. The awesome part is he ran this business with no ingredients, no oven, no store, just leftovers, a cool brother, and a little hustle. You gotta respect that. This kid missed English class, 1st period. And he shows up to 2nd period like nothing happened. People were wondering where he was. One of his friends leans in and asked, "Yo, why'd you miss English class? We turned in our essays today." And the kid just goes, "Oh, my cow was giving birth." Oh. He says it like it's the most normal thing ever. He still had mud on his boots, there was like hay coming out of his pockets, and he smelled a little weird. It was probably from that cow birth. People just nodded, like, okay, yeah, farm kid stuff. Okay. And so what if he missed English, you know? His essay wasn't gonna win any awards at the state fair anyway, but his cow might. Huh? Okay. This kid had terrible handwriting. Like, teachers would sigh whenever they saw his papers. Good Lord! So when this kid's class had to turn in a handwritten essay, he decided he was gonna actually try. I'm gonna actually try. So the night before it was due, he sat down. He had his pencil there, and he was ready to get to work. He took his time. If a word was sloppy, he erased it. And he did it again. Slowed the letters down. He was doing a really good job. The next day, he turned it in proud. It wasn't perfect, but it was way, way better than how he usually writes. Well, get this, the teacher looks at it and goes, whose handwriting is this? Mine. You proud of me? No, your handwriting has never looked like this. Somebody wrote this for you. Who did it? I promise you, I wrote it. No, you didn't. This is cheating. Cheating? No, it's handwriting. I worked hard to make my handwriting better. So now you're getting smart with me. All right, I'm writing you up. She drags him into the hallway. She's lecturing him about academic honesty. He tries to say, listen, I practiced. You told me to practice. She doesn't believe him. She calls home. The mom shows up. She knows how hard her son worked on this. She's furious. Okay, so my son is in trouble because he tried, he worked on his handwriting, and now he's getting written up? Are you out of your mind? It doesn't make sense. The handwriting progress was too fast. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. They bring in the principal, and they make this kid write a paragraph in front of them to prove that he actually did write this essay. He sits down, he writes it. It took him a long time, but he did it. It was the same improved handwriting. The principal looks at the teacher. You owe him an apology. Teacher, red-faced, mumbling, I'm sorry for accusing you. Sure. They left, he gets an A on the paper, and she never confronts him about anything ever again. After that year, she retired. This is absolutely insane. So Rampart High School was a blue ribbon school. Good grades, solid reputation, but they had barely any money. So the principal has an idea to rent out the gymnasium to make some extra cash. And someone comes up, they want to use it on a Saturday. They say it's just a small event. The guy says, yeah, it's for a church dance, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., 1,000 people max. Well, Saturday night hits, and it's a full-blown rave. Lights, fog machines, thumping bass, it's packed. Over 5,000 people show up. People are drinking, there's a bunch of other crazy stuff going on, and this isn't just a rumor, it was on the news. Here's the article. See, 5,000 people. What is this? The superintendent said this was a major mistake, and that they were manipulated by these guys. The rave went on from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. all frickin' night. The company that threw the rave said that they never lied, and that kids will be kids, but come on, who would do this? After the rave, the gym was completely destroyed, and I mean like destroyed. The floors, the bleachers, everything. The gym could not be used for the rest of the school year. People start calling the school Ravepart instead of Rampart, and whenever a student from the school's choir sings the national anthem at a school event, they always end it with this. And the home of the rave. Home of the rave. There was this kid in 8th grade, and to be clear, nobody liked him. Why? Well, because he was frickin' mean. He would steal people's food and say, "Mine, survival of the fittest." He barked at the PE teacher once. Ruff. And he had this really insane talent of making other people cry. Kid was a certified menace. One day during lunch, he picks up one of those tiny square milk cartons, and he sees someone across the way and says this, "Hey nerd, catch this." He winds up, he launches the milk carton, and he misses. The milk carton missed the kid he was trying to throw it at, but it hit the security guard in the chest. Oh, you, come here now. And let me say this, the security guard was a huge, buff dude. People respected him because they were terrified of him. No. I'm so sorry. Well, this 8th grader is now starting to panic because he's terrified. I said, "Come here now." He starts walking over there slowly in shame and terror. And just like that, every single student in the cafeteria begins cheering. Justice. Justice is served. Who's the nerd now? Loser. Everyone was just so happy that this kid, who seemed to never get in trouble but was always so horrible to other people, was finally getting the karma he deserved. This class is so messed up for this. It's middle school science, and this teacher is a sweet older woman. She's soft-spoken, she's always kind, she truly cares about her students. She's one of the good ones. Well, one year she bought every single one of her students their own pencil case with her own money. She filled them with rulers, pencils, erasers, everything they could possibly need. Class, no need to bring supplies, I got you. Okay? So each of her students has these full pencil cases, and one day she steps out for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, that's it. Snap, thud, whip. The students start chucking these pencil cases across the room, snapping rulers, breaking pencils, breaking the zippers, and they're all laughing like maniacs. She just walks back in, and she freezes. Wait, what happened? No one answers. She picks up a broken pencil case and holds it in her hands, and she just starts crying in front of everybody. Why would you guys do this? Why would you guys do this? Super messed up. Well, the next day she comes into class. She says this. "Class, I'm so sorry for getting upset yesterday. That was not good of me. I should have been more composed. I just wanted you guys to have everything you needed, okay? Anyway, I brought you all some candy." And then she gave them candy. Dude, they were the ones that should have apologized to her. She was one of the best teachers in that school, and students who were in that class say that this messes them up to this day, which it should. This kid ran a genius hustle. So at this one school, if your phone ended up in the lost and found, it stayed there until the parents of that student picked it up. That was the rule. If they took your phone, you were not getting it back. Then this kid named Marcus starts a business. $10 and I'll get your phones back before 6th period. Bro, what? They're in the front office. Yeah, well, Marcus had an older cousin that worked in the front office. And every day during lunch, Marcus would go to the office to say hi to his cousin. And when he did that, his cousin would quietly hand him a phone wrapped in a napkin. "Hey, what's up, cousin? Oh, hey, Marcus, hope you're having a good lunch. Here is your snack I brought you." Good man. And nobody noticed. He had a group chat. Phone retrieval services. You would DM him what class you lost your phone in and what your phone case looked like. He even had tiers. $10 for standard pickups during lunch, $15 if you had to go to the office during class, it's a bit more risky, and $20 if you get caught again the next day. It became this underground thing. But here's the twist. Eventually the principal finds out about this. He made a deal. "I won't punish you, but for this next week, every single time someone messages you to do this, give me their name." Fine. He became a frickin' informant, and for that next week, he busted a lot of kids. Eventually, they found out that he had flipped and his business was completely washed. But still, I guess you gotta respect the hustle. So this girl takes her boyfriend out for his 23rd birthday. Small Italian place, no reservations, just first come, first serve for the tables. Well, these two wait 30 minutes, and they're finally taken to a table. They order some drinks, they're settling in, they're having a very nice time. Then this family walks in. Mom, dad, 2 kids. And the hostess tells them, "It's gonna be 30 minutes. The mom then loses it. 30 minutes? My kids are hungry now. This is ridiculous. People are taking up big tables when they're just couples." And she literally points right at this girl and her boyfriend. Like them. Yo, I think that lady's talking about us. Oh my God, she is. The mom then marches over to their table. "Hi, you two don't mind moving so me and my family can sit here, do you? You're young. You can wait." The girlfriend's jaw drops. Excuse me? "So get up. Get up, please. Now." She's losing her mind. The waiter then comes over and is like, Ma'am, you can't just ask guests to give up their table, okay? You're gonna have to wait like everybody else. This is ridiculous. There's no respect these days. So she goes back to the front. Her whole family looks super embarrassed of her, as they should be. She was out of line. And then when the hostess finally got them a table, it was right by the bathroom and the kitchen. So they were very uncomfortable. Good.
এই কি করবি সেই না চেহারা না হলো কি চেহারা কথা তো বেশি চেহারা ওজন বেশি
আপনি না শুই না না দেখা সব জানা ফেলছেন বাবা।
রক্ত লাগবে রে রক্ত আসবো না মানে
হ্যাঁ তাই তো শুনলাম।
আসবো না ঠিক আছে দেখতেছি ব্যাপারটা যাও
কিরে তুই কোচিং এ যাস না কেন?
দোস্ত আমি কোচিং এ কিভাবে যাব বল? এই গুন্ডাটা যে আমাকে ডিস্টার্ব করে তুই দেখতেই তো পারছস, ডেইলি আমার পিছনে লাগে থাকে।
আমার ভালোবাসার গল্পটা অপূর্ণ রয়ে গেল গলবে পাখির মন গলবে এমন মন্ত্র দেব
এভাবে রাস্তাঘাটে একটা মেয়েকে উত্তক্ত করে আর নিজের গায়ে রক্ত দিয়ে
এই এই দুলাভাই সামনে থাকলে যে সালাম দিতে হয় আপনি শিখাই নাই তোরা
যে কোচিং এর সামনে যে গুন্ডাটা দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে আমার তো মনে হয় পড়াশোনা সব বন্ধ করে দিবে।
আমি তোর প্রেমের গল্প সাকসেসফুল আমার কথা বিশ্বাস কর আমি শুধু একটু প্রেম ভালোবাসাতে আমি শুধু ওরেই চাই বাবা আমি ওরে পাইলে হবে
ওকে আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি। আচ্ছা আপনার কাছে একটা প্রশ্ন,
আমার তো অনেক ভয় লাগতেছে দোস্ত, এই যে আস্তে আস্তে সব মানুষ জানবে, তারপর আমার ফ্যামিলিকেও জানাই দিবে, আর আমার
এন্ড বেস্ট অফ লাক ফর ডক্টরশিপ। আমি দোয়া করি তুমি যেন একজন ভালো ডক্টর হও।
কি রে মাম্মা, কই রে তুই? কতক্ষণ ধরে দাঁড়ায় থাকবো? কনসার্ট তো শুরু হয়ে যাবো।
তাইলে তো বন্ধু রিত লেগে গেল। আরে বেটা এত লাফাইস না, যেরকম শুনতেছি পরীর মতো এরকম করলে তো বেটা যা পারলে তো ভালো,
দেখা যাক কি করে শালা।
বোবা হ্যাঁ কথা বলতে পারো না?
বিয়ান সাহেব, আসসালামু আলাইকুম বিয়ান সাহেব।
এক্সকিউজ মি,
বলে দিবেন যে আমার বন্ধুর সাথে যেন ভালোভাবে প্রেম করে, নাইলে কিন্তু ঝামেলা আছে। যেদিকে তাকাই তোমায় দেখতে পাই, কিচ্ছু ভালো লাগে না।
বন্ধু তুই যদি রক্ত দেস
ভালো লাগে না রে দোস্ত।
না দুলা ভাই আমি তো কোচিং এ যাই না, আমার তো বাসায় গেস্ট আসছে আর আমার আম্মু তো একা, এজন্য আমি যাই না।
আমার পড়াশোনা সবকিছু বন্ধ করে দিবে, তখন আমি কি করব?
আরে ছাইরা দে।
সবে ইন্টার সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে পড়ি।
সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে আমার ক্লাস 9 এর পোলাবেনও প্রেম করে।
মামা মায়া তো অস্থির। এক্সকিউজ মি আপু, এক্সকিউজ মি, আপনার নামটা যদি বলতেন একটু।
শুনেন বেং সাহেব, আমার বন্ধু জিসান, ঠিক আছে? আপনার বান্ধবীরে শুনুন।
মারি নাই তো, শাসন করছি। ভালো লাগে না, একটু মারতেই পারি। তাহলে কিন্তু খুব খারাপ হয়ে গেছে।
তুই রবিল নামে সুন্দর একটা রিক্সা ডাক।
ভাবি চিনিকে আমার বন্ধু জিসান দিচ্ছে, প্লিজ ভাবি আপনি একটু নেন, প্লিজ ভাবি। দেখেন ভাবি, ফোন তো ধরে না।
আবার কল দে। এই এই দুলাভাই সামনে থাকলে যে সালাম দিতে হয়, আপনি শিখাই নাই তোরা?
যে কোচিং এর সামনে যে গুন্ডাটা দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে, আমার তো মনে হয় পড়াশোনা সব বন্ধ করে দিবে।
আমি তোর প্রেমের গল্প সাকসেসফুল। আমার কথা বিশ্বাস কর। আমি শুধু একটু প্রেম ভালোবাসা চাই, আমি শুধু ওরেই চাই বাবা, আমি শুধু ওরে পাইলে হবে।
ওকে, আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি। আচ্ছা, আপনার কাছে একটা প্রশ্ন,